talking to my motorcycle, and I need to get out more. Hey, welcome back everybody, Sean here. If you've been following my channel, you probably know I've been looking at motorcycles, other motorcycles. Been trying to downsize a bit, go down from 2 bikes to 1. I sold my Harley. My Harley buddy threatened to disown me, but I think I got him talked down off the ledge now, and we're still friends, so that's good. That being said, I put a lot of thought into what my next motorcycle might be. Over the winter, I watched a ton of videos and read everything I could get my hands on about the Yamaha Tenere 700 that was coming out to the U.S. This summer or this spring. Looks like an amazing motorcycle. Seems to me that it's an upgrade and fills a void that was left in the industry when Kawasaki decided to stop making the KLR 650. And by that, I mean a simple motorcycle with no fancy electronics that's, capable off-road, capable on-road, and it comes in at a reasonable price point. So what's not to like? So really researched heavily the T700. Talked to Ben Swanky Cat. He had ordered one. I started watching a lot of YouTube videos about it. And about 2 months ago, I went down to my local Yamaha dealer to ask him about the T700. That particular day, I was more than ready to put down a deposit, $500 deposit on whenever they got their next shipment. I was looking at the black Tenere. That's my favorite one. And I was looking to maybe put $500 down on it, just to guarantee it. Unfortunately, the dealer told me, hey, they had 3 on order, and all of a sudden they just disappeared out of their system. They had been in contact with Yamaha, the big Yamaha, talking about the factory, and really couldn't get an answer as to what happened there. So they told me to call back in a couple weeks, see what the status changed, if the status changed. And I did that. So I called back a couple weeks later. Unfortunately, still no idea when they were getting any, or if they were getting any anytime soon or this year. So obviously disappointed there. But hey, there's a lot more happening in the world than me and getting a motorcycle. So totally understandable with the pandemic going on and all the chaos in the world right now. And they still haven't called me back. So, that was about 2 months ago. So nothing yet on that. But a funny thing happened on the way to the Yamaha dealer. I found a local KTM dealer. It was located right off one of the main drags in my area. Never saw it before. Must have passed by it dozens of times. A place called Carolina KTM. As far as KTMs go, I was always kind of intrigued by their 1190. I sat on an 1190 at a bike show one time. The 1290s, same thing. They're pretty awesome bikes, huge ADV monsters, tough as nails. And I also followed the release of the KTM 790 Adventure when it was announced back in 2017 or 18. I'm not really sure when. Followed that pretty closely, read a lot about that in the motorcycle magazines, and that seemed to be hitting a sweet spot in the marketplace as well, just like the T700, that middleweight adventure category. But this one came kind of with the KTM pedigree and the KTM, reputation. I got a buddy at work who's a big KTM guy, and we talk about KTMs all the time. For me, I never went with it. We really looked seriously at a KTM because there was never a dealership anywhere near me. The nearest one was about 3 hours away, so I never put much thought into it when I lived back up in Virginia. But I found this new dealership. So on a whim, I called them. I asked them, hey, do you guys have a 790 Adventure R? And they said, hey, we do. So I went and took a look at it. And then, that bike was sold. I'm not going to get into that right now. But long story short, I did all my researched the heck out of it. Fell in love with the 790 Adventure R, and I decided to go big orange. So that brings me to today's video. As I mentioned, I sold the Harley. I was able to work out a deal with the KTM dealer on the KLR for a trade-in. And today's the day. It's the day that I say goodbye to my old friend, my camping buddy. I'm going to drop her off at the dealership today in order to secure the new bike. This isn't a new bike video. New bike videos will come later. Today is really dedicated to saying farewell to my trusty KLR 650. So stay tuned. All right, fellas, this is it. As I mentioned in the intro, this is my last ride on the KLR. I am heading to Carolina KTM, and I'm going to pick up a KTM 790 Adventure R. I'm conflicted, of course. I mean, I mentioned that before, but you know, KLR and I have been through a lot of different adventures. Served me well, will serve someone else well also. So Scott Miller at Carolina KTM will have this bike. I'm not sure what Scott's going to do with it, whether he's going to sell it right away or keep it around the shop. I don't know. But I'll miss the old girl, but hey, you know, it's a machine. Like I mentioned, I got a lot of motorcycles on my mind. I don't have a lot of time left, you know. We all don't. So I'm just moving on in my motorcycle adventuring hobby and moving on to the next thing, and really looking forward to the KTM. I'll talk a little bit more about that when I get the thing, but this ride's about the KLR, man, and all the good stuff that it has provided me since I've had it. Made a lot of really good friends online. You know, learned a ton of things, both mechanically and about riding from the folks that I've interacted with. You know, been using YouTube and creating videos and really interacting with a lot of people in the KLR community. I can't say enough about it, man. It is just fantastic. The people that you meet, if in person and online, that surround this bike are just really a good group of folks, and I've enjoyed that immensely. All right, I'm gonna throw a couple bucks of gas in this thing just because I don't want to give it to him almost empty. Scott's a good dude. He's done right by me, so I'm gonna do right by him. I'll get him a little more fuel, so if he wants to test ride this thing or have somebody test ride it. All right, gas done. $5.99. Filled it up. Oh, reset. Reset. It's one of the charms of the KLR that I'll miss. The mileage only guesstimate on the fuel, no fuel gauge, and the non-self-canceling turn signals, which get me still to this day, almost 3 years later. I still do that consistently. Forget to reset that thing, so it's one of the charms of the KLR. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't thinking about Ben right now, Swanky Cat, as he got hit on the way to getting his Tenere. So I am being got eyes in the back of my head this morning, making sure I'm looking out for any yahoos running around. But yeah, terrible about Ben's foot. That's just bad luck right there. I feel bad for Ben, that stinks. But I'm gonna try to make it over here without incident. But I was gonna sit here and wax poetic about the KLR, because to be honest, it does deserve that. It's been a very, very good motorcycle for me. I dumped a lot of money into it, but it's been a labor of love. I really enjoy working on the bike. So instead of sitting here waxing poetic about it, I'm going to put together a couple clips in the video here of some of the fun times I've had on this bike. So roll tape. Holy Rocky. Whew. Oh yeah, let's get my puddle on. Wow. at that. I'm having a double rainbow moment here, boys. A double rainbow. Look at that. Come on, get out of the road. Come on, pup. No, come on. Come on. Go on, go on. Come on. No, come on. Come on, puppy. No. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get out of the road. Come on. Come on, it's okay. See, how do we do this? These are waterproof boots, so. Holy crap. It is deep. Ready? Wait a minute. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. You know, telescoping fork I was using to cook them over the fire, and a bunch of that hot dog juice, you know, that loose juice or whatever in the hot dog, kind of gross, nasty stuff, spilled all over my sweatshirt. So I was trying to dry it out on the tusk chair there, the tusk chair by the fire, and like a big dummy, I turned my back on it and it fell into the fire. Yeah, well, those are just some of the good times I've had on this bike. I didn't always have my camera on. It's a bittersweet day. Sweet day in that I'm getting a new bike. It's a bitter day in that I'm giving up the KLR, but it just doesn't make sense to have 2 ADV bikes. And I'm also trying to get down to just one motorcycle so I can just concentrate on that. I've had 2 motorcycles a couple times in my life. And there's always seems to be the issue, one of them gets ignored or one of them gets ridden more than the other. I put up much of the film of me riding the KTM today. I just wanted to pay homage to the mighty KLR. Thank her for her service and see her off in style. Alright, well, I don't know how much filming I'm going to be able to do at the dealership. We've got to signed all the paperwork last night, so I'm just really here to pick it up and drop off the baby here, and that's it. I'm transferring my plate, so I'll still have the delusional plate on the new bike. Just make no mistake, I'm still delusional about adventure in the world and all that good stuff, so keep the faith there, and I'll keep the faith anyway. But someday I'll get to do a cross-the-country trip or something like that, so that's the hope, that's the plan. See you later, KLR. You've been a good friend. You've been a good companion, got me through everything I've asked you to do. For that, I am grateful. I'm hoping the KTM is just as good as bike. Well, better. Well, I hope it's as reliable as you've been. Let's just say that. I hope the KTM is as reliable as you've been. Talking to my motorcycle. And I need to get out more. Alright. Here we go. Gotta make it into this parking lot without getting smashed, and then I will have arrived. Yep. I'm in. Woohoo! Looks like $12.90. Scott did say somebody was coming to test ride one. Alright. Okay, baby, that's it. Thanks. And that's all I have to say about that.